All right, so today we are going to be reviewing logical statements. So remember, logical statement is a statement that we can assign a true or a false value to. So there's no guessing, it is definitely true or it's definitely false. So to start off, we have these connectives and then one special type of statement. So let's start off, let's say I have these statements P and Q. Remember, in formal logic study, a statement is normally assigned a letter, just kind of like a variable in math, all right? So the first thing that we have is called a negation. Remember, a negation is just something that takes on the opposite truth value. So a way to think about this is just not of whatever the statement is, and then the formal symbol for that is like that. Next up, we have our conjunction. So a conjunction is when I combine two statements, and then it's using and the formal symbol for that is like the uppercase A. I next up have my disjunction. So a disjunction is when I'm saying this or that. So it's an or, and then the formal symbol for that is like the down arrow. And then last up, I have a conditional statement. So think for a conditional statement. This is like an implication. If something, then something else. And then the formal symbol for that is the arrow. So let's say that I have these two statements. I am running, statement P, and then statement Q says I am doing cardio. All right, so if I negate statement P, all that this is I am not running. That's the negation right there. And then same kind of thing if I were to negate statement Q's negation would be I am not doing cardio. So that's those there. Here we have P in conjunction with Q. So P in conjunction with Q would say, I am running and I am doing cardio. Doing cardio. There we go. Okay. So that's the conjunction. Now, again, the difference with the disjunction is we're saying one or the other. So the disjunction would read, I am running or I am doing cardio. Okay, so kind of think like the conjunction, I'm running and I am doing cardio. Yeah, well, if you're running, then you're doing cardio, right? But the disjunction, I'm running or I am doing cardio, then we could do something else, like we could be on an elliptical, we could be riding a bike, something like that. And then last up we have the conditional. So P implying Q, this says if I am running, so if I am running, then I am doing cardio. And that's true, right? If you're running, you're doing cardio. Doing cardio. Great. Okay. Running then and doing cardio. There we go. So that's kind of a little bit of a first review. Next up, we have these varieties of these conditional statements. So the first variety that we have, let's say that we have some conditional statement P implying Q. So first up, we have what's called our converse. So our converse, what's happening is my hypothesis and my conclusion are flipping spots. So a converse, if I have a conditional P implying Q, the converse would be Q implying P. Next up with my inverse, an inverse is when I negate both the hypothesis and the conclusion. So this would be not P is implying not Q. And then last we have our contrapositive. So my contrapositive is when I negate both the hypothesis and conclusion and they flip. So the contrapositive would be not Q is implying not P. All right. So let's say I have here these statements. So statement P, I am running. Statement Q, I am doing cardio. And now I have my conditional P implying Q. If I am running, then I am doing cardio, right? So we wrote that one already. So Q implying P, again, this is my converse. So the converse of that statement would read, if I am doing cardio, then I am running. And is that necessarily true? No, not necessarily. If I'm doing cardio. If I'm doing cardio, then I am running. And is that necessarily true? No, it's not necessarily true. Why not? Again, because we have all of the different kinds of cardio exercises that are not running, right? The inverse of this, not P implying not Q, this would say, if I am not running, so negating that hypothesis, then I am not doing cardio. And if we were to say, is this true or false? If I am not running, then I am not doing cardio. Well, that's also not necessarily true because, again, you could be doing any other cardio exercise other than running. So this inverse would also technically be considered false. And then last up, we have the contrapositive. So I'm just going to write contra. So this would read, if I am not doing cardio, then I am not running. And this is true. If you're not doing a cardio, then you're definitely not running, because any runner knows you're definitely getting a workout. Okay, so that's the varieties on the conditional statements that we can work with. And then last thing we have are biconditional statements. So remember that a biconditional is written in if and only if format. And then that logical symbol is the arrow on both ends. So that's my biconditional. And we write a biconditional when a conditional statement is true as well as its converse. So that's, again, when we can write that biconditional. So if we're looking at this example, we have today is Saturday and then tomorrow is Sunday. So we have P implies Q. If today is Saturday, then tomorrow is Sunday. Yep, that sure is true. And then Q implying P. If tomorrow is Sunday, then today is Saturday. That's also true. So since we have the original statement and a converse that is true, we can form these as a biconditional. So we would say P if and only if Q, or Q if and only if P. It does not matter. So I'm just going to write the P if and only if Q. So I would say, forming this, today is Saturday. Let's abbreviate that. If and only if tomorrow is Sunday. So that's how I would form that biconditional. And again, you could flip it. You could say tomorrow is Sunday if and only if today is Saturday, and that's also totally fine. Biconditional order doesn't necessarily matter.